Hey, what's up guys? Matt here. Welcome to my book review of Tress of the Emerald Sea. I am very excited for this review today. This is my first book after finishing Wheel of Time, so this is a big review. I'm going to set the book over here. I've got my notes down below. We are currently in a different location than our current review place, so we'll see how it goes here. Thanks for watching this review. It's gonna be a good one. We're gonna do some spoiler-free stuff. Gonna do a review score, and then we're going pretty well full spoilers. I absolutely loved this book. I am constantly impressed with Brandon Sanderson. As you know, Brandon Sanderson helped Robert Jordan after he passed in finishing the Wheel of Time. So I think this is just awesome. Brandon Sanderson is awesome. He's my favorite author. So it's fantastic to get back into his world. This book is a lovely story of a girl who loses her love and must go on an adventure to get him back. Along the way, she will be tried and tested on her abilities. She will learn an incredible amount about herself. So, this book is written in a unique perspective. It's not really first person or third person. It's a bit from a narrator perspective, which I think is something you'll have to read and find out about, because it's great. This book is a wonderful book. Very fun, whimsical, exciting, suspenseful, twists and turns left and right. I think it is a great book. This story, being Brandon Sanderson, is also very Cosmere. This book is a lot of the Cosmere. I will tell you to read and find out, because it is awesome. It's awesome. The magic system in this book is brand new and very easy to understand. For more, check out my spoiler review portion. So now we're going to get into the spoilers. I'm going to explain what Tress of the Emerald Sea is. I'm going to go through some review scores, and then we'll go into a bit of a summary of what's going on here. So, if you've not read Tress of the Emerald Sea, I highly recommend checking it out, and then we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. If you haven't read Tress, come back and let me know what you think. Okay, what is Tress of the Emerald Sea? Tress of the Emerald Sea is a standalone Cosmere novel told as an in-world story by Hoyd. It chronicles the journey of Tress as she travels the world of Lumar to rescue her beloved Charlie after he is kidnapped by the sorceress. Unlike other Hoyd stories, which tend toward more fanciful, Tress's adventure reflect real-world Cosmere events that occurred, though the tale still includes artistic liberties added by Hoyd as part of his storytelling style. Tress of the Emerald Sea was the first of the secret projects released in 2023. It was released in January of part of the Kickstarter campaign, The Year of Sanderson. This, followed by Standard Publishing, released April 4th, 2023. That's when I picked it up, in April of this year. It is a Cosmere novel set in a new world with the craziest world building of the 4 secret projects, says Brandon Sanderson. On March 3rd, 2022, Brandon released the first 5 chapters along with a brief chapter commentary, which you can read on his website, listen, and watch on his YouTube channel. He also did a full spoiler Q&A about these preview chapters, which also can be listened to on his website. Okay, so now we're going to take a pause. We're going to jump into the review scores and then the spoilers. Okay, thanks. Here we are, Tress of the Emerald Sea. Tress of the Emerald Sea review score and spoilers. So I've deliberated a lot on this really after I came up with these scores, and I'm set on these scores. These are good scores, solid scores, I think. They reflect the book well. I enjoyed this book an immense amount. I go back and forth on whether it's a 4 out of 5. All in all, I did give every aspect of the story a 5. Emotional impact, characters, plot, prose, and world building. This is an excellent book. I think it's an incredible book. And let's dive right in with emotional impact. This book was so much fun, and that will hold all of these pillars of the review scale. Emotional impact. I was on the edge of my seat for most of the book, sort of like I am right now, actually. I laughed, and I mean I laughed out loud multiple times. This book was so much fun. Characters. 5 out of 5. This was an incredible character book. I am obsessed with Hoyd and Tress and the crew on the boat that they're on, the ship that they're on. I won't talk about more about that. I'll talk about more about that in this spoiler review. Oh, but I will say Charlie left a little bit for me to be desired. Luckily, we didn't have too much Charlie in this book. Wink. But this was an incredible character-told story, character-focused, of course. I really can't find the word of what I'm trying to say here, but we were pretty much camped out in character perspectives. So it was awesome. We really had a deep dive in the interpersonal relationships of characters and how people really think. And I think it was really well done. Plot. 5 out of 5. I was obsessed, and I am obsessed with this story. We have an amazing magic system, amazing plot. We start small, and we open up big. We have struggles. We have so much fun. Also, really Cosmere. This world is ripe with Cosmere. Can you say that? Can you say ripe? So good. Prose, 5 out of 5. I could gush about the prose in this book specifically for hours. This book is written in Hoyd's voice. Need I say more? I will. Hoyd, as Brandon writing Hoyd, is taking the time with the introspection here. There's so much to this book. There is so much in this book to deal with prose. I love it. There are fourth wall breaks. Well, what do you call it when someone breaks the fourth wall when there's not walls? No. I don't know. I loved it. All right. Lastly, on my review scale is world building. World building is 5 out of 5 here. Cosmere. Need I say more? This book is full Cosmere. We get, calling out other books here and other series, we get things from Elantris, from the Stormlight Archive, from Mistborn, from Warbreaker, which is a Stormlight Archive as well. So good. That breaks out to a 5 out of 5 on every aspect. So good. Okay, now we're going to jump into the full spoiler discussion, and yeah, we'll check back then. Okay, now we are jumping straight into, I guess you wouldn't call it straight, because I've already done 2 parts. Anyways, here we go. Jumping right into the spoiler story breakdown. This story follows Tress, a girl living on an island in the middle of an ocean of green spores. One of the 12 oceans covering her planet. She's a window washer and an avid collector of cups. Tress is friends with Charlie, who pretends to be the groundskeeper for the Duke that rules the island while actually being the Duke's son. Over time, Tress and Charlie realize that they have feelings for each other and confess. Ultimately, the Duke sees this and shortly takes Charlie with him to other islands to marry him off to a princess. Before his departure, Charlie promises to fend off all the suitors and send Tress letters and cups. She receives 4 of them before Charlie falls silent. So when his ship returns, she ventures out to see what became of him. However, the Duke brings back a different heir, while Charlie appears to have disappeared completely. Tress investigates this and discovers that Charlie was sent off to marry the sorceress of the Midnight Sea, and was subsequently captured. Despite the sorceress sending a ransom note, no one is interested in paying. Realizing that everyone but her has put Charlie out of her mind, she decides to set out and rescue him. What an amazing like tagline. I mean, it's just exciting. So let's go into this. The story. There is so much I could say about the story. Really, I love it so much. I really enjoyed it, but I'm going to say Raffo. I want to talk about everything that was here, but I could just go on and on. So I'm going to talk about a few specific things, and we're going to start with Hoid. Hoid. I'm obsessed with Hoid. I love Hoid. I mean Wit. I mean Hoid. This is a full story told as Hoid being the narrator. He's hilarious and intelligent, and the book flips between third-person and first-person perspective because he is actually in the story. He is cursed during almost the entirety of the story, but Hoid made this story. Now, Tress is awesome, and the story is incredible, but Hoid is incredible. Tress was absolutely an amazing main character. She was smart and well-established and funny. I think she is a strong character. I think her whole progression was beautifully crafted. I mean, I could just try to explain what a story is with a character starting in a small world and ending up in a bigger world, but that's what happens. Tress is so practical, as she said, but she is. She learns so much in this book. She struggles. She needs help. She is great. She cares. Does she need Charlie, though? I don't know. That's a question that I might come back to. Couple more things here. The crew. Brandon did not need to dig so deep into the backstories of nearly every one of these characters, including the Dougs. But we get so much from every character, and we learn so much about them. The characters are so good. I love a good crew story with people that are important for specific jobs. Nautical stories. This was great. We just watched Pirates of the Caribbean, so I was looking for a nautical story, and this one was a fun one to read. I really enjoyed this book. Zixus the Dragon. This was awesome. A fanciful, beautifully written, and exciting dragon. This dragon reminded me a lot of Smaug, and makes me really want to reread The Hobbit. This was just so much fun. We only got the dragon for one scene. Really, it was talked about, built up a little bit, and then we only got him for a few scenes, really. But he was great. He was awesome. Rena the Sorceress. I could say more about her, and I really just want to let you know that she's a great villain, but don't make bets with Hoid. That'll spoil. Also, she has a spaceship, so that spaceships are now in the Cosmere. Okay, a couple more things. Charlie. There is a point in the story once Tress gets to the Sorcerer's Tower and got the body of this person, but wasn't actually Charlie. I believe she smiled, or he smiled, and then I thought, oh no. Tress was making so much personal progress, and then to have to come back. But I'm glad with the resolution that we got. Charlie was actually Huck the whole time, a talking rat, which a lot of people talk about the talking rat, which took him out of the story, but I think it worked well. It was explained and it worked well. So, the writing. The writing is so good, but this world and the way Hoid communicates the world is incredible. There are points that the story truly stops to break down what is going on. And I guess a lot of stories do that, but this one's really good. There's a character, Fort, who is deaf, but that's not it. He has broken fingers, so he won't be very good at sign language. So he has a magical tablet that helps him basically have closed captions for people speaking to him, and he can type out the words. But the story stops to help the readers understand who don't know much about sign language and things like that. It breaks down what happens with lip reading, so that those that are hearing impaired, they all can't do lip reading. It's not 100% flawless and 100% accurate for you to do lip reading and things like that. It's just really cool. That doesn't begin to describe how the story does writing, but that was a plot point that I wanted to communicate, that this story breaks down things. This is great. This is a great story. All right. Lastly, Cosmere connections. They're everywhere. I mentioned earlier Elantris, I mentioned earlier, Elantris, Stormlight Archive, Mistborn, everything. Brandon said about these stories that the gloves are off. And the gloves are off. Cosmere connections are out of this world. Okay, that's my review. Thanks so much for watching Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Book 1 in the Secret Projects. All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.